Hi everybody and welcome to today's talk. It's Wednesday the 2nd of March 2022, Ash Wednesday. Um, the subject for my talk today is entitlement from leaders and just poor leadership, a couple of examples of poor leadership in general. I just watched a YouTube video yesterday evening, and it was only posted on the 23rd of February, so it's only a few days old, week or so, and it's already had four and a half, well, more than 4.5 million views. Now, the reason this is, I'm talking about this video on my leadership talk is that there are a couple of things in it. I tend to do that. I tend to watch, often tend to watch YouTube videos or read things which aren't actually about leadership, but which I then look at through that lens of leadership. So I'm Nick Trowbridge. As ever, I keep on telling everybody I'm passionate about leadership, and I think anybody can become a good leader with the correct training, coaching, and mentorship. So the subject of the YouTube video was a traffic stop by a woman police officer in the United States, and she pulled over a guy in Florida, and she pulled over a guy by the name of Martin Hyde, who was a candidate for Congress, a congressional candidate for that district in Florida. She pulled him over because he'd been speeding 57 in a 40-mile limit, I think was, and using his mobile phone at the same time. So she pulled him over, asked for a driver's license, registration. Registration didn't produce, and from the start he was very, very aggressive, quite obnoxious, rude, condescending to this police officer. Got to things where at one stage he said, "How long have you been in the service?" And she said 7 years. He said, "Well, you're not going to make it to 8." And he repeated this to a supervisor later. So, really not a nice piece of work, as I would say. And it was that. It just came over that sort of his attitude is so being so entitled. So the first thing he said to this woman officer was, "Do you know who I am?" She said yes, but she continued anyway. She did her job, as far as I can see, perfectly well. Now this guy, and it can happen in business careers as well, but he just blew his political career to smithereens by his behaviour. And I've seen it happen before. I've seen it happen in management. I've seen it happen. If you look up to somebody, you don't look up to somebody or respect somebody who has this attitude of, do you know who I am? I'm entitled. It just doesn't cut. So not in this day and age. I mean, I've seen managers sort of bang their fists on the table and say, "I'm the boss, and this is the way you're going to do it," which is very rarely appropriate. And the second thing, well, anyway, so if you get elected to Congress, I mean, you're going to be leading people. You're going to have some assistant staff, whatever. And I certainly wouldn't wish anybody to have to work for this guy. He's actually from the south of England, my neck of the woods, which is a bit embarrassing. But anyway, and the other thing that I picked up on was that he wanted her superior to come along. He was talking about calling the mayor's office and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, so her superior officer came along, and the guy was a classic, or his behaviour was a classic how not to lead. So he's sort of very apologetic to this guy and said, "Well, if I'd been her, I wouldn't have given you that ticket or one of the tickets." Just not standing up for her. Because he's probably frightened of this guy, I don't know. But it was very just an example of very poor leadership. And I'd recommend anybody who's in leadership or starting off in leadership actually to watch that video. I'll post the link to it in the description below. So yeah, don't try and emulate this sort of leadership. So that's my talk for today. If you have anything you'd like to talk to me about any issues of leadership, please contact me via the link below, and I'd be happy if you'd subscribe, share, and like this video. And I'll see everybody again tomorrow. Bye bye.